Okay, guys, I thought I'd make a little video on the Dave Palumbo vegan gains feud in the anticipated debate that's coming up between these two. That should be very interesting. Now, vegan gains, I don't know, had this big thing where he believed that the reason for Dallas McCarver dying entirely was pretty much Dave believing it was all genetics. And of course, vegan gains saying that it was actually tons of anabolic steroids, testosterone, GH, SLIN, whatever you name it. Now, to say that the GH, the drugs, the steroids, etc., had nothing to do with Dallas McCarver's death, is pretty ridiculous. Obviously, they did, but I don't necessarily think Dave was implying that these drugs did not have anything to do with that. I think Dave's smart enough to understand that. I think Dave brought up one of his videos that it was taken out of context, and I think Vegan Gains tends to do that. I watch some of his videos. The guy will run with the littlest things, even though really there's nothing there. It's just things that people say. He uses them for a lot of his main points in a lot of his videos. And this guy gets pretty irate pretty fast, so I would anticipate a lot of f-bombs and a lot of going back and forth. And I think it's going to get out of control a little bit. So hopefully, they both can stay calm in this deal. But I think Vegan has a bit of a little temper on him. He's a smart dude, makes some funny videos. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people don't like Dave Palumbo. So it is what it is. I don't know. It should be interesting nonetheless. But obviously, Dave Palumbo knows 100 times more about all things bodybuilding than Vegan Gains. Now, Vegan Gains might have some, and he seems like a pretty smart dude. I mean, he comes up with some pretty interesting, valid points in a lot of his videos. But again, this is probably something that's going to drive both of their channels very well, and that's a lot to do with it. So I think that Dave, is anticipating a domination of this debate, and rightfully so. It depends on what the debate is. Now, to say that steroids and a shit ton of drugs, I think McCarver's levels were like 81 times normal mid testosterone levels for most people. So this guy was taking a shit ton of drugs. I mean, they only found trenbolone in his system, I believe. So of course his test levels were super high. So he's taking some tests. But to say these drugs didn't have something to do with it is I don't agree with that. I don't think Dave was actually saying that again. I think he was just, saying that the main reason was Dallas McCarver's uh, family history. I mean, this guy was a ticking time bomb. From what I understand, he had liver cancer too. So I think Dave was maybe implying that genetics are essentially in the end. The drugs probably accelerated his genetic deficiencies. I think is what Dave means. And without those genetic deficiencies, Dallas, might have been fine for many, many years, except for the thyroid issue. Uh, so that was a major problem. But yeah, so I think that I made a video about genetics and bodybuilding. A lot of times, it's not necessarily your genetics in terms of the muscle that you carry around and your build. It's a lot of times the genetics and your ability to handle your body's ability to handle the drugs it takes to be a successful bodybuilder. I've known big guys who couldn't handle any kind of drugs at all. And I've known thin guys who could take an absolute shit ton and get big and zero side effects. So it's pretty crazy stuff. Firsthand experience with it. Tons of sides for me. Just one of them things. So I tend not to go down that route. But it is what it is. The debate. Back to the debate. It should be. There's going to be a lot. I think Vegan Gains is going to go from 0 to 100. At the drop of a hat, I can about guarantee that. He's going to make his points. He's going to just go irate. Probably when Dave counters those points, and vice versa. Maybe I know Dave has made a video about Vegan Gains killing JFK or some shit. pretty crazy stuff. But Vegan made a video about Dave being responsible for Dallas McCarver as well, so it should be interesting. It's just another YouTube feud in the one of a million. So you can't make videos on YouTube without getting in some kind of feud with somebody, either in the comments or back and forth with videos. So that's YouTube. I mean, that's what drives a lot of people's channels. That drives vegans' channel. And comments drive videos, good or bad. So it is what it is. So we shall see.